Hi everyone. Oh wow, I'm sorry for being late. It has been just a very busy day. Okay, just lost our little connection there, but I think we're good now. I think we're good. Let me get us all like squared away. Okay, this looks good. So let's go ahead and get started. Whew. So if you guys remember from yesterday, we are working with the Reindeer Fun stamp set dies, paper, embellishments. So we are going to get started. And just to remind everyone, what we're doing is we do a 3D project. We do a card sketch, which is what we're going to start with because that is nice and kind of gets us going. And since I'm already a little late, we don't want any problems, I guess. Right? All right, so here we go. We are gonna do number 5 sketch. So this is what it looks like. So let me go ahead and pull in the paper that we are going to use. So we're going to use a crumb cake base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then we have a piece of real red, and this is cut at 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So I just added an additional 1/8 inch to give us that thinner border. And then we're going to take a piece of designer paper, and this is, let me tell you here, 3 inches by 4 1/2. Okay, I'm just gonna little side note. This glass mat that Stampin' Up! Now sells, it was a freebie when you joined, which they have a sale right now. They have a sale to join the Stampin' Up! Community, and it's $155 in product, and you pay $99 plus free shipping, and you get to pick whatever you want out of the catalog. Anyhow, this glass mat, I think it retails for $60, but it has that built-in ruler. I think it's one of my favorite things all of a sudden because I'm using it a lot. All right, now if you look at the sketch one more time, it also has a kind of a tag or a little area there for a sentiment that's flagged on both ends. So we're going to have that on our card. So pretty, of course, right? They're all sketches. They're pretty basic. You can make them what you would like. So we're going to take our piece of real red, and we're just going to put this piece of designer series paper on it. So really sticking with the basics. Maybe tomorrow, I just realized I don't have my Versamark pad in here, but probably what we could do would be kind of to stamp around this as well, if we wanted, with maybe the reindeer or a tree or the bells. That would be cute. I have real red over here, but you know what? I'm gonna forego that right now because we're already a little behind with starting later. So I'm going to take my little take your pick tool here, and if I just put this in here like that, it gets out a little bit of whatever is kind of clogging that a lot of times. Now we'll see if it did here, or if I just got something else going on. Okay, well, oh, there it is, I think. Okay, let's try again. And I'm pretty sure I have the right, there we go. Yeah, something was in there. All right, there we go. We'll have to fix that. Get that little wipe and clean that up. Okay, so I'm just gonna lay this right in the middle there of my piece of real red cardstock and make sure it is straight. There we go. And now we're just gonna adhere it right onto our crumb cake base, which if I have not used the new, you guys tell me in the chat. I'll see if I can see it. I'm trying to think what that color is all of a sudden. It looks like beige, that's it. It's beige. All right, the beige color is another one that I think you could use as a background that would be super cute for sure. All right, and then for this piece, I think for this card, honestly, when I look at it, I think it's going to look nice just glued straight down. And then we'll put a couple embellishments on here. And then we're going to put it right in the middle. Now, in the sketch, it had it at the top, but actually that space right between the two sets of deer, I thought made it look a lot more adorable. But if you guys wanted to make Christmas cards, I think this one might be my most favorite that we've made out of the sketches. And as far as it being so simple, I think it truly is a nice, simple card. All right, let me see if any of these will go. I think we'll go back to, if I have them still here, and I think I may have taken them away, and that's okay. We will use one of these blue ones here, and we'll just add a couple of those because they look pretty. They have a pretty gold in them. But what I was going to use is those nice little things that look like those iridescent gems that look like snowflakes. I think those are really pretty. All right. There we go. Okay. And there is our first card. Yay. Okay. There we go. Now, you guys, I have not been doing, I think I even said this before, the inside. But again, for this card, I would put a piece of white cardstock and then just stamp a deer or tree or something like that. Or maybe the little bells, probably put those in the corner. So, but we're going to focus more on the outside. All right, so that is card number 1. Now we're going to move to our 3D project, which is going to be a box. Now, yesterday we had the boxes that you can buy for Stampin' Up! That automatically seal. So today, the box we're going to do is we're going to make our own. I think I've shown before how to make this box. And I love it because you can make 2 of them out of 1 piece of cardstock. So we're going to take a piece. In this case, we're going to do just a half a box. So this is 8.5 by 5.5. And we are going to score it. And if you have 2, you can also, and I'll let you figure out, I have it written down, but I don't want to confuse, not that you guys would be confused, but I might confuse myself. But what I wanted to say is, you literally, if you keep it at 1 piece of 8.5 by 11, you can do all your scoring on like once, cut it in half, and then you have everything scored for 2 boxes. So that's all I wanted to say. All right, so we're going to go ahead and score this. So on the long side, you're going to score it at 1 inch, 3 3/4, 4 3/4, and 7.5. Okay. Then we're going to turn it around and we are going to score it at 1 inch and at 4.5 inches. So if you haven't figured that out, basically you are scoring it at 1 inch on both sides. Okay, and then on this side, 1 inch on both sides and 1 inch in the middle. So when you think about the measurements, it's pretty straightforward. It's a pretty easy box, and I think you can really, I think it's just very versatile. All right, so now what we're going to do is do a little cutting. So I'm going to grab my snips here, and we are going to, now it doesn't matter, you just have to know long-wise what you're cutting off. But on one end, I am going to cut the two of the tabs out, and that's going to help me know right away, this is the top and this is the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and cut this, and I'm going to do just a slight angle. You know, when I first started doing, like, making boxes out of paper, which this sounds totally ridiculous, but I always got confused as to where the top was versus the bottom. So anytime you create a box, just in case you are brand new to creating those, anytime you take out sometimes these little tabs and are left with one tab, that pretty much is the lid that goes inside the box. That's kind of something you can remind yourself. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to get on this whole end at each one of these on both sides, and we are just going to cut down that line, and then just do a little bit of an angle. So on this one, we're going to do an angle on the tab. And then on these two, same thing. We're going to cut along the edge and just do a little bit of a tab, and all that does is remove some of the bulk, because otherwise it hits right up against, when it's all straight, it hits right up against here. Then when you try to close it, it doesn't quite match up. So it doesn't have to be a big gap. You're literally just getting rid of a little bit of an edge there, so it's easier to close, for everything to, you know, to remove the bulk, I guess is maybe the best way to say it. All right, now we have one more down here, and we'll take a little bit off this tab. All right, there we go. So that is what your box should look like before you do any putting of paper or anything like that on a designer series paper. So this is my lid. So this is the part we pretty much know is going to show. So I'm going to go ahead and just make sure I know what my measurements are there. And then, so if I look at that, that is 1, 2, 2 3/4. So it's going to be 2.5, and this part is going to be, yeah, 2.5. That's going to be, let's see. You know what? I don't know that sorry. Let me start at the end here. Sorry, I know you guys can't see this. I'm just measuring it. Yep. Okay. So, 2 3/4. So 2.5 by 3 3/4. 2.5 by 3 1/4. So I'm going to take a piece of designer series paper here, and I'm going to cut a piece that is 2.5 by 3 1/4 so that we can put this on our box. All right. So first we're going to go this way, I believe. Okay, so 2.5. What did I say? I'll just double check. Make sure I got it going right. Yep, so 2.5. And this will be 3 3 3/4. 3.5, I think is what we had. There we go. And that can fit now right on top. Oops, I think I have, sorry, 3 1/4. Hello, 3 1/4 is what I needed. There we go. So 2.5 by 3 1/4 is the top of the box. So if I bring that over here now, I can literally put that right on top of the box. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down. Now I'm looking at it and think, you know what? I might want something underneath it. I think I might want a little bit of green. So again, I said this was 2.5 by 3 1/4, right? So we're going to do 3.5. Make sure. Yep. So 3.5 by, let's just make sure. I think it's by 2.5. Or I'm sorry, 2 3/4, right? Yeah. Go a little bit less. There we go. Okay. And now I should be able to put this right on here like that. And then we're going to go ahead and put this right on our box. And I just want to make sure, I think I might need to take just a smidge. So I think my measurements might just be off. So let me give those to you guys again, because I think I need to go by the 8ths. So yeah, so this is going to be 3 3/8 by 2 5/8. Okay. So I needed to make that adjustment just a tad. Otherwise it wouldn't quite fit on the box. So this is perfect. So this is going to fit on the lid of our box. So we'll go ahead and adhere this. And we're going to have this beautiful seam here. And we'll put that right on. Oops, sorry guys. You're staring at nothing, right? All right, there we go. So we got this nice little piece. Now we're going to add that right to our box. Our box lid, and then we're going to go ahead and adhere our box together. All right, this is again the front of our box, and we know that because we have that nice tag up here, the lid, the tab. All right, so there we go. All right, now before we get any further, and we'll give that a chance to dry a bit, we're just going to go ahead and score our lines. This will just make it so when we do go to fold it closed, it's going to be nice and easy. But you guys could fill this with candy, a gift card, both. Lots of fun. They fit, I think it fits like a regular, like a Kit Kat too, like a regular size candy bar. Okay, so here we go. So this is the top, this is the bottom. So now what we're going to want to do is just take these tabs and we're going to adhere them inside. So as always, right, we're just going to add our adhesive here. And then just let it hold. Now if you have, so a good thing to use too are these little clips here. So we could take a clip and we'll add it there while we glue this side. Oops. And go ahead and put this one down. Now again, just like we did on that other box, just make sure that those corners line up nice. I'm just going to take it from there and put it on here. And now we're going to glue these two in. Now, you guys conceivably could not do this part, but I think it makes your box look a little more finished if you do. So we will just put some adhesive there. Again, line up those edges on the back. Now, you guys could also do designer series paper on the side and on the back. And that is just 7/8 by 3 1/2. So you would make it, I'm sorry, you make it 7/8 by 3 1/4. It's funny, I have some of these measurements written down and I don't know why I didn't look at them, but whatever. Not thinking very clearly here. All right, here we go. Okay. All right. And there, is our nice box. We just put those two tabs in. We put this tab down. Oops, you know what? Let's do a little bit off these two edges. We don't want a lot because we want it to, you know, kind of stay in. But we'll just take just a little bit off right there. And a little bit off this side. Again, not a lot because we do want it to, sometimes if you take too much off, the lid will pop and won't sit down. But there we go. So we put those sides in, and we put the top of our box in here. Oops, what would help? Maybe that was my problem. There we go. And put this in here. And there you go. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? I don't know why. You know, you can buy boxes, but it's so much more fun to make your own. Okay, now we're going to decorate just a little bit. I am going to put a little bit of twine around it, and we will take, I think it's just some of the garden green. So this isn't going to be anything major here, but we'll just put a little bit of twine around it, and we'll go around just a couple times. And then we're just going to tie a bow, and then we're going to add our grating here. There we go. There we are. And that will also keep it closed by adding the adhesive, or you know, the twine there. That'll just keep it nice and together. All right, now we're going to add a little embellishment or a stamp. So we have lots of stuff. So let's just add, may all your days be full of, well, let's see. That looks a little big, doesn't it? So you know what? Why don't we do this? Why don't we stamp these bells and then we'll adhere those kind of to the side there. I think that would look nice. And it's nothing too, we could do a present, you know, we could do a variety of things, right? But we'll take this here and we'll go ahead and I think just kind of hang that off the side there. So we'll bring in a piece of paper here. We grab the stamp, which is right here. And we'll go ahead and stamp that in red. Go. There we go. So I think in this case, we probably don't need maybe a, I mean, we could put Merry Christmas. We could do the one Better Together. We could put that one on the front too, but I think we'll just stick with a nice little embellishment. And I know what we'll do. This is something I want to show you guys anyhow. So this is perfect. Actually, we're going to do something, okay, totally different, totally different. So instead of using the die cut, I am going to try something else. Okay. And I'm going to see if I can do this or not. I don't know if it'll work. But we're going to try it. We're going to see if we can get this to work. I'm going to, yeah, because I'm going to try to, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch this out but show some of it. All right, this is something I wanted to show you guys anyhow. And this is taking the word Merry Christmas, which is really long. And we are going to make it so that it appears on 2 lines. So, you know, when we did the markers, you know, we used the markers to color in our items. Well, this way, what we're going to do is we're actually going to take Merry Christmas and we're going to ink up just one word at a time. And then we're going to put them down so they appear like Merry Christmas, okay? And I think we'll do it all in, maybe we'll do it in garden green because I have green. All right, so this is what you're going to do. We don't need this die anymore. Kind of ad-libbing now. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to just take it to the edge of my ink pad until only the word Merry is sitting in it. Okay? Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to stamp Merry right there. And I can see I didn't get the top of that Y. Yeah, but that's okay. I'll have to take a little marker or something. You know what? I'm gonna just like totally. I just happen to have a green pen here. There it goes. Okay, so it doesn't look exactly, but that's all right. All right, there we go. I can take my marker and fix it. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to clean off where I had stamped Mary, just to make sure that I don't get it on anything else. Now I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to do the same thing with Christmas. So I'm going to focus here a little bit more on getting that all inked up. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right below where I have Mary and I'm going to put Christmas. Ta-da! Look at that, you guys. So now, instead of having it long, we can have it on two sides. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it if I do it. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to put this up on some dimensionals, and we're just going to add that right there. But what we'll do, because we don't want to cover up too many of the little deer here. I don't know if I like it. Now that we did it, right? All right, we did all that bell work. And you know what, you guys? I'm thinking I'm going to only take the half of it. We'll save the top for later. Now that we did all that work, I know. I put it up there and I'm like, I don't know that I just don't know that I liked it. I like the bells. I like the color of the bells. But you know what I think we're going to do? I think we're going to take this and put it right here. Like that. I think I like that better. Yeah, I like it better. I like it better. And I think we're going to do something a little different. Okay, so needless to say, here we are. I love those bells. I just don't know that I liked it right there. So here we are. We are going to take this half of that punch out that we just did with one of our punches. And I'm only going to take the Merry Christmas part. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my nice ribbon here, or my nice string, linen thread, and now I'm going to take it around and I'm going to tie it this way, and that way it's not in the way. This is called How to Improvise. This is, you know, day 2 of week 2. Here we go. And we're just going to make everything different. We're going to make everything twice. No, I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. It's like, what in the world? All right, you guys. There we go. So now I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger here. All right. There we go. I like it even better. I like the ribbon and I like the little deer. And we just used that punch. So not to lose sight of our 3D box, of our nice little project here that we did with the box. I love it. All right, that is project number 2. So we are now moving on to project number 3, which is our fun fold. So here we go. We are going to start with a piece of Pool Party. So let me get that out here. And we are going to be doing some cutting. All right. So first thing we need is a piece that is 5.5 by 11. So I've been doing a lot of this, and because I was so busy today, I didn't get a chance to do all the cutting. So I thought, well, this will be good. That gives me a chance to show you guys a little bit too. So we're going to take a piece of 8.5 by 11, and we are going to cut it at 5.5 by 11. So this is not a card that I would necessarily make for lots of people, because it does take, at least you need 2 pieces of cardstock, whether it's a piece and a portion, but you need 2. So just, you got to remember that. All right, now I am going to score this piece of cardstock that is 5.5. I'm going to score it at 1.5, or I'm sorry, 1 3/4. Oops, sorry, 1 3/4. Good thing I'm sending you guys all the measurements, right? All of you who were on the mailing list would have received last week's. So hopefully, you know, if you'll sign up, you'll get the other ones. And hopefully I'll be ready to go here. Also, don't forget, when you're on that mailing list, you're also going to get the instructions or the the link to participate in the mystery stamping, which is next Thursday. All right, then we have this, which is 3.5, and that's all free, by the way. I do it with a card club group that I have with other demonstrators. So again, great benefit if you're a demonstrator. Okay, so we did 1 3/4, 3.5, 5 1/4. Nope, I want that at 5.5. Nope, 5 1/4. Oh, you know what? I think, no, that's right. Okay, so 5 1/4. For some reason, I think I didn't do that one right. And then at 7. All right. All right, so here we go. So I don't know why I don't think that I have that right, but I do. Okay. All right. So there we go. So let me just read through those measurements again for you guys. So it's 1 3/4, 3.5, 5 1/4, and 7. And then your card piece is 5.5 by 11. All right. Okay, now we're going to cut some designer series paper. And we are going to use these beautiful, cute deer. All right. And we are going to cut this at 5 1/4 by 6. All right. So what I'm going to do, and I'll show you why. So I'm going to cut it at 6 inches. All right, so it's basically half a piece. And then I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4. Now, the reason I'm doing it this way is because I'm going to use all the same scenery here, and I want them to be right next to each other. But what you need is 4 pieces that are 1.5 by 5 1/4. So that's what you could cut. So you could make each piece different is the point. These, I want them to be consistent and in a row. So I'm making them all out of the same sheet of paper, and I want them to stay in a specific order. All right. So again, each piece is 1.5 by 5 1/4. And those are our pieces that we're going to add to our piece of cardstock there. Then I need 2 more pieces that are 3 inches by, yeah, I need a piece that's 3 inches by 6 inches. So I'm going to look at this, and this is 3 inches, and I'm going to go over here to 6 inches. Okay, so I'm going to use that same piece. So I take that back, you guys. I don't know why I was thinking this would not fit, but it does. And then I'm going to score it at 3 inches. And then I'm going to need a couple more pieces. Then we're going to take a piece of white, and we are going to set this at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay. And then we're going to take another piece from this right here, and we're going to do 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. All right. So I will go back through all these measurements with you again, and I just need one more piece that I'm going to be using for the inside of my card. And that is a piece that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So we're going to take this at 5 1/4. Oops. And make it 4 inches here. All right. All right, you guys. Whew, got a lot of cutting. All right, so here we go. So let's bring our pieces back in. Anybody want to take a little gander as to what we're making here? Okay, so here's all of our pieces, and I think I mentioned we want them to go kind of in a certain order. So this is like piece number 1, piece number 2, 3, and 4, because again, I'm kind of connecting them. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is take those 1.5 by 5 1/4. There's 4 pieces, and I'm going to adhere those down to each one of these panels. And then I'm going to show you, and this is just an accordion fold to the front. So when we have all those score lines, and I will show you that just because I kind of did it and to make sure that everything was lining up. I didn't really explain it. So I've laid it out flat here, and we're just going to put each one of these right in here. So I don't know about you guys, we're getting some rain where we are, which is wonderful. We haven't had rain in quite a while. My husband and I were outside working today, getting, kind of like cutting. We have like a bunch of grasses and stuff, and so we were cutting those down, and so got that all squared away. So that was nice. Job done. All right, and then do one more. I love this paper, not gonna lie. Now you guys could layer this too if you wanted. You could put a piece of cardstock underneath the designer paper, but I think for this particular card, I don't think it's really necessary. But I do think you could do it, and it would look absolutely beautiful. All right, now we're gonna take our piece of white, and it's gonna go here, but and you know what? This is not. I'm sorry, this is 3 3/4. Wow, my measuring skills today are, I was wondering, because it's only 4 inches. So I was like, whoa. So that's going to go here. It's going to be 5 1/4 by 3 3/4 because this panel is only 4 inches big. All right, so now we have this piece here. So I'm not going to put this in yet because I'm going to do some stamping. But now we're going to move on to this little panel that we have here. And we're just going to go ahead and score it. Now, what's going to happen is, let's add our cute little bells here on this side. Okay. And we're going to put those on one side. And then on the other side, we're going to take this piece and we're going to be doing some stamping or putting our message on here on the front. So I think the first thing I want to do is to take our I have a deer here. And I wanted to see, I think I'm going to stamp him in early espresso on top of the pecan pie. And he might be our front image. Now, if it doesn't look good, I also am going to die cut out one of the deer. Because that way because I wanted to show both of those things to you. So we're going to kind of, again, play it by ear, see what it looks like. So let me grab the deer here, and it's already cut, so let's just see if we can get it to line up. Now I am going to have to take this and move it a little bit off screen here because I have to get it to try to line up, and when I do this, I'm basically lining up, or at least I'm going to try to line up. Yeah, I didn't do a very good job. You guys can see he looks like he's all cut off. Okay, so that's okay. We're gonna do the next best thing, and we're gonna cut one out of the designer paper. So I could have stamped it again, but I'd have to die cut out another one anyhow. And I'm not sure I like it. I think I'm gonna like it better if I just die cut out one of the little guys. So that's what we're gonna do. So we'll clean our stamp, and I have our cut and emboss machine right here. So I'm going to take a piece of our designer paper, and let me grab the die, and I'm going to show you guys. Hopefully I can show you one of these that we can cut out. So let me grab the piece of paper that I believe we can cut those out of. So, oops. This one, not exactly sure. Let's see. It's that one. I think it's this little guy right here. Can you guys see that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut around that deer. And so it's so much better for you to just cut around one rather than taking the squares, because sometimes you end up, I know I've said this before, but sometimes you end up kind of losing more of your paper. Whereas if I do it this way, I could still kind of cut some things out or use a die or whatever. Okay, so here we go. So we are improvising with our little deer that's going to go on the front. So I'm going to put it right like this, and I'm going to run it through the die cut machine, which I will bring up here. Let me grab. The other nice thing about this little mat that I have this on is it does stay quite nice. So here we go. So I'm just going to pop this right here. Get it nice and straight. Make sure I don't cut off his feet or something like that. I don't have any of the tape in here with me. Otherwise, that's what I would suggest. All right, here we go. Nothing like doing this completely backwards. All right, that's all right. You guys get the gist. Okay, here we go. Ta-da! All right, awesome. See, look, it looks so much better. It's all even around. That is what we want to see. All right. So now, all right. So now what we're going to do, put that away. We will adhere, bring our card back in. And now we can take this little guy and we're going to put him on the front, and we're going to stamp a greeting here as well. So let's do our greeting. And we will do the one that says, Christmas is better together. So let me clean off my stamp here. And then we'll stamp our greeting. And then I'm going to show you guys how to put the card together. So let's stamp our greeting, maybe we might add a few little snowflakes on there too, like we did yesterday. So I think for this one, let's do our greeting in early espresso. I think that will look nice. And we're going to put our greeting toward the top here. So Christmas is better together. Oops, sorry, I'm totally off camera there. There we go. And then we just need something else, because we're going to put this whole guy, he's going to go right here. Maybe we will do, add, I think we'll just add him. I think we're just going to add the deer. I think I like that. Now that I look at it, I think it's probably best if he just stays just like that. So I'm going to kind of have him hanging off the edge a little bit there. All right. And we're just going to glue him because I don't want it to, I don't think he really needs to be popped up. Okay. There we go. And we will add some embellishments, but we'll get the card together first. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I have the bells on one side, and I'm going to put the other side right here on this. And we're just going to put it just like this. Oops. All right. Okay, hold on. All right. Okay, you guys. I better focus, right? Not talk, because for some reason I'm like, what in the world? Having trouble lining that one up. Okay, so here is the magic. All right, I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to, when you squish that all up, what you're going to do is you are going to adhere these two pieces just like that. So just on the inside and the outside. So what you're going to do is go about halfway up. Okay, so I'm just going to open this up like this. I'm going to make sure I have it even or where I want it from top to bottom. And then I'm just going to add some adhesive to the end here. Okay. That's about right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close her right up, right there. Make sure that I'm looking and it's even right here. Okay. Push that down. Okay, now I'm going to go to the other side and do the exact same thing on this end. So now I'm just going to add some adhesive here. And then close her up. I'm not sure what kind of card this is called. I know it's a fun fold. I don't know if it's called like a Z fold or double fold. I'm sure it has a name. So if you guys know it, put it in the chat. All right, so now look at this, you guys. Isn't that cool? Like, see, it looks like that. I don't think it's referred to as a double Z fold, but that's what it kind of reminds me of a little bit. But isn't that adorable? I just love it. I absolutely love it. Now, I didn't score these very well. If you remember, I think this is where I just put it together and didn't really score it. But I do think it's adorable. And it's not as difficult, I think, as I made it. But there you have it. There is our fun fold. I love it. I love it. So I will be sure... make sure if you're not on that mailing list, get signed up and you get the recipe card. So I don't share step-by-step instructions because you kind of get that in these videos. So we'll forego any kind of full-on instructions, but I will send you all the recipe cards and then all the product that we used. Okay, so let me bring in all three of our items that we created today. So we have our card that we did using our sketch. And then we have our cute little box that we found, did 5 ways to Sunday. But I like how this turned out. And then we have our fun fold card. So that is it, guys. And remember, this is our box. Let me just open it up here. Oops. Go. Oh, I just realized... Oh, no, I didn't do that. All of a sudden, I was like, oh, no. So there we go. That is our cute little box. I just love it. Okay. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. And we will see you again tomorrow. So I think that's it. All right. Bye, guys.